So, Chelsea, big game. Luckily, Wayne Rooney is suddenly in form. 7 goals in 7 games. Guys, how long is this going to last? Adam?
I told you he needed to get dropped, didn't I, guys?
I was waiting to hear your thoughts on this, Adam.
Now, you know what's funny? Yeah, I get absolutely tore, on Rooney. When I was defending Wayne Rooney at the beginning of the season, saying, look, he'll come good. He's going through a bad patch. Stick with him. Everyone was saying, Mac, you're talking crap. And now, when I was saying, just before when he got dropped, I was saying he needs to get dropped for his own good. And that's exactly what's happened. And the thing I like the most at the moment is his goals on, like when he was still scoring at the beginning of the season, they were like tap-ins or just blasted off him. And these are real goals that the back heel, I forgot who that was against now.
Newcastle, wasn't it?
Yeah, the back heel. You got the shot from outside the box against Derby. The real goals, and I love it. It's Wayne Rooney goals.
Nice. Okay, Howson, do you agree? Do you think Wayne Rooney will sustain this patch of form?
No, I get hammered as well because I said Wayne Rooney's finished not so long ago, and fair enough if you want to hammer me for that. I think you're within your rights to. What I mean by Wayne Rooney's finished is if you watch that documentary a couple of months ago, which shown what Wayne Rooney was actually like for us several years back, he hadn't really evolved as a player from that, and he is on the decline, but he's still a pretty good player. And pretty good players are going to go on decent runs when they're played all the time. And I think that's what's happening. He is still a useful player. He's not completely and utterly finished where he needs to retire or anything like that. What I mean by finish is he's on his decline. The end of his career is closer than the start of his career, isn't it?
But I mean, that is true.
He's scoring a few goals, and I'm happy with his form at the moment. Long may it continue.
Okay, Gaz, what do you think? Is this the last little bit of life left in Wayne Rooney's career, or is this something we can expect to see a bit more of and he's turned a corner?
Well, as a professional fence sitter, luckily I didn't say anything too harsh against Wayne Rooney that could come back and bite me on the arse. But I did agree that he should have been dropped because, let's face it, at the start of the season he was offering nothing to the team, and some people were having a go at, you guys and me as well, saying, stop picking on Wayne Rooney. And I'm like, but he's the captain. He's going to get the most attention, and it's who we expect the biggest performances from. And we weren't getting anything at the start of the season, and it was just a shame. It was painful to watch because we've obviously seen what he's done in the past. But then 2016 hit, and I'll be interested to know if he's actually been told to do anything different, or in his own mind he's decided to do something different, or just things that he's trying are actually coming off a little bit more now, because he has been absolutely brilliant. Mac made a good point then that all the goals he's scoring are properly mint goals as well. Anywhere he's played as well, there was a time against Newcastle where he wasn't actually played as the main striker, he was played behind, and I thought he was brilliant there as well. So that's something we can think about as well if we want to put Marshall up top. I still think Wayne Rooney will perform behind him. Whether Wayne Rooney can carry this on for a long time, I'm not so sure. I think he is in good form at the minute, but it still doesn't make up for his awful start to the season. I still think at the minute he's probably had a 6, 7 out of 10 season overall. But if he can carry this on for the rest of the year and drag us into the top 4 like a proper captain should do, really, then we'll all be very buzzing. But whether he can carry it on into next season, I'm not so sure. I do think that now is the time to be looking for Wayne Rooney's replacement. And if we've already got that replacement in Anthony Marshall, then let's start looking for a man to play left wing, because we can't be playing Marshall there forever.
Okay,
I just say, sorry, I know the topic's nearly done, but I was watching Match of the Day after the game the other day, first time in a long time. I've watched Match of the Day, and they did a stat about Martial's positioning, and he's started to stay out wide, but he's getting a lot more touches on the ball in the final third, whereas before he was dropping closer to the halfway line. And I think not only the change of the way the tempo in our game and the mentality of our game has changed, which is just a small thing that we've changed, but also the fact that Martial he wasn't a winger when he came to Manchester United. He's having to learn that new role. And maybe the fact now that he's got better at his role, it's helping Wayne Rooney a little bit more in terms of creating opportunities and stuff. But having Mata in his own position as well against Stoke was excellent to see Wayne Rooney, especially on the break and the pace that he was moving at, and his brain was there working, and good to see, man. Not just from Rooney, from the whole team.
Okay, good. Right, we can't really avoid this. Pep Guardiola is going to Manchester City. I guess let's not linger on it for too long. Howson, how do you feel about this?
No, not asked, mate. I'm really not. My feelings on Pep Guardiola have got me a lot of stick from United fans who was demanding that we had him. But I've not been impressed with him. He's walked into two great sides. We had that chat, didn't we, me, you and Mac at Southampton, and we both said the same things. He's not really proved he's got the stomach for a fight. He walked away from a Barcelona team after he'd won everything, but he hadn't really done the one thing that's not been done in modern football, which is someone repeating a Champions League win back-to-back. And he had the opportunity to do that. He didn't have the stomach for the fight, and he walked away from his own club. Now, I don't trust a man that can walk away from his own club, his own team that he supported, come through the academy, played for, now managed, and he's like, anyway, yeah, I've just won virtually everything. The one big challenge that's set ahead of me, which is to win back-to-back Champions Leagues, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to Bayern. I'm going to take an easy route. And now he's come to City. He's going to take an easy route as well. I think Jurgen Klopp's shown that he's going to find the Premier League a lot tougher than the two, one or two team leagues that he's used to. He is going to be in for a big fight, and he might well be up to it, and he might really be good for City, but I think he's going to be in for a bit of a shock.
All right, Gaz, do you agree? What do you think?
No, I don't agree. I think that, we have a lot to worry about with Pep Guardiola going to Man City. Howson mentioned that he always takes the easy jobs. Well, yeah, he does, but he always does well in those easy jobs. So that suggests that he's going to do the exact same at Man City, spend a bit of money, get some, great players in, and potentially, I think they'll definitely be winning Premier Leagues, but potentially winning Champions Leagues, which would just be the worst thing to see those scruffs from down the road celebrating a Champions League win. Seriously, man. But
did boo the anthem if they won it.
I think that it's a good appointment for Man City, and the only thing that we can do about it now is, because obviously I don't think there's any way for us to stop Man City being a very good team, but we can obviously stop them being successful by being great and successful ourselves. And I think that means showing a bit of ambition in the summer, whether that's with signings or with managerial appointments. I feel like we can't just be carrying on with this steady sort of road that we're going down with Louis van Gaal. I kind of feel like we need to bring someone in, bring us a bit of momentum. And then if you look at it this way, obviously, I know that obviously we're looking at this from a Man United point of view, but you look at it from a neutral point of view, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, and potentially Jose Mourinho managing in the same league. Best league in the world, innit? No doubt.
Adam, Gaz just said his name. A lot of people are suggesting the only way Manchester United can come back at Manchester City and Guardiola is to hire Mourinho. Do you agree with that?
People would be surprised by this, but I do agree with it. I think, first of all, I think Pep Guardiola is a great appointment for Manchester City. I think the reason he's gone to Manchester City, I don't think it's because he likes an easy job. I think it's because he likes things set up properly. Manchester United aren't set up properly at the moment. We haven't got the right people in the right positions at the club to make the important decisions. And that's the reason why we didn't get Pep Guardiola. Manchester City, we can laugh at them all we want. They're a joke. We know that. But the facts are they've got the things in place that all they need now is Pep Guardiola to come and just sprinkle his magic on it. And they could be set then for the next 10 or so years. But the other day, I thought he'd become Manchester United manager. Everyone was talking about what it meant for Manchester United rather than what it meant for Manchester City, which is, they'll always be in our shadow, that's obvious. But in the current time, we need to catch up now. Louis van Gaal isn't going to be here beyond this year, next season if he has his own way. And I don't think we should be sticking with that, to be honest, beyond this season. Regardless of whether Louis van Gaal gets us top four or not, unless there's something in place where, it's a transition to Giggs, which I don't necessarily agree with, then we can't stop it. But I think the reason Jose Mourinho becomes more of a draw is because he'd automatically make us challenge. He'd attract players to the club. He'd bring a winning mentality with him. And we wouldn't no longer be challenging for the top four, we'd be challenging for the title. The only drawbacks, and I actually said before Pep went to City, I actually said if I had the choice of Pep and Jose, I'd go for Jose because he knows the Premier League, and I don't even like him that much. So I do think Jose Mourinho is probably the best appointment United could make to keep up with City. But whether that happens or not, I don't trust the people in our club to make that decision. Jose Mourinho coming in would mean that a lot of egos would have to take a lot of hits at Manchester United.
Okay. Right, Howson, Chelsea, big game. What's your team?
I'm going to go for as close as I can to the Stoke side, but obviously I think I was never going to start Fellaini, and I do think he's injured. I've not actually seen an update on whether he is injured or not.
No one's asked.
Pardon?
Because no one's asked, mate.
I would go with Schneidlin and Carrick together and go with the same team apart from that.
Okay, I've just did a yawn. Sorry about that. Gaz, what would you do?
I've gone for the same team as Stoke, except for the two centre mids where I've put Ander Herrera and Morgan Schneidlin. I think that those two offer us a lot. And people always say, we've got Fellaini in there to get himself about, make tackles, but Fellaini can't make tackles, and Ander Herrera actually will run round the pitch and give everyone a good kicking. So, he's the type of player that we want in centre mid, and alongside Morgan Schneidlin, he needs to play as many games as he possibly can. I was bemused why he was on the bench against Stoke, but luckily it all worked out, didn't it?
Okay. Adam, what do you think? It's all about the central midfield pairing. Who would you go for? What do you think of what they've done?
First of all, I thought Fellaini played well against Stoke.
He did. No, he did, yeah.
I don't want to see him in his team. I also think the way Stoke played helped us. When they played Peter Crouch, I was happy to see that. Because I thought, hold on, these haven't come here to play football. They've come here to set up shop and try and hit the long ball to Peter Crouch. And they went kind of against the tactics that they've used so well this season at Old Trafford. But Fellaini did well. He was helped a lot by Mark Carrick, but still, I dropped both of them. And bringing Schneiderlin and Herrera into the midfield. Play Matter in the number 10. That's where
it's class. Man, was so good.
You know what was so impressive about the game against Stoke? How many players were played out of position bar Anthony Marshall?
Yeah.
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
Arguably Blind, but I get your point.
Okay.
No, but Blind plays.
I think Blind's a centre half now. I think he's a centre half.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I said arguably Blind, but I get the point.
Yeah, you love an argument, though, don't you?
But let's not have an argument, all right? And also, I think Rooney's flick was against Swansea. I said Newcastle earlier, and it's been bugging me. Right, let's talk about Chelsea, Pato, Falcao, John Terry. What's going on over there? Hiddink. What's going to happen? Are there any genuine concerns about this team that are current Premier League champions sitting in 14th? Or if we turn up, play it against Stoke, are we going to run them out of Stamford Bridge?
It's Chelsea. It's an hard game, no matter what. Honestly, there's no way of saying, it's an easy game because it's against a 14th place team. They've been a little bit better, aren't they, since Hiddink took over? I know that obviously not massively better since they are still 14th in the table. But yeah, it's a tough game against Chelsea. They've got some great players who can turn it on when they want. It just depends if this is one of the rare occasions this season that they actually want to. So hopefully, I think that I think that this game is going to be decided very early on. To be honest, I think if Man United were to get an early goal, then we'd be very happy, and it'll be similar to the Stoke game, really. But I'm not sure if it's 0-0 at half time. It really could go either way. But we can't be losing this game anyway. And I'd say we can't really be dropping points either with a bit of momentum after the Derby and Stoke game. We don't want to take another load of steps back with a loss against a 14th place side, do we? So let's just go for it and let's get the win, play attacking football.
If it's 0-0 at half-time, it could go either way. Howson, Adam, anybody want to add anything as insightful as that?
I think coming away from Stamford Bridge with a point would be... I'd take that right now if that's on a plate.
I don't know.
Because not many people go to Chelsea and win. Despite the form that they've been in this season, they are the champions. They've still got a fantastic side that they can put out. Gus Hiddink has turned their season round a little bit for them. He's got a right task on his hand to get them anywhere near competitive or anywhere near the top four. I think that's well gone for them. But they have still got the capabilities to beat any team in the league on any given day. So going to Stamford Bridge at weekend with the form that we're in, which is still shaky, I'll take a point if it's on offer right now.
Adam?
The reason I didn't pick Fellaini in my team was because of the fact they got players like Oscar. I think he's a fantastic player, he's just an amazing player. But I think they play very quick football through there. And if we're playing someone like Fellaini up against Oscar, he's going to be clattering him all day. He's going to get sent off. So I think Schneidlin and Herrera to combat that in the midfield would possibly work better for us. Play matter. Players do well against their old clubs and all that balls. But Chelsea are a good side. I'm not going to fall into the trap of thinking this is going to be easy. They came to Old Trafford, they got a point. And at their home ground, they're going to be up for it. They hate Man United down there. So, you know what it's going to be like. It's going to be all about John Terry because his contract's not getting renewed. I can only hope that makes him take their eye off the ball. And he slips up Ups it up.
It's happened before, isn't it?
Viva John Terry.
Okay, Adam, what do you think the score will be?
Wayne Rooney 1-0.
Howson.
1-1, I reckon.
Gaz.
2-0.
2-2.
United.
Lovely. I'll say 2-1 Manchester United. Guys, thank you very much. Everybody else, get your comments in below. Let us know what you think about the central midfield pairings, about Pep Guardiola, about Wayne Rooney's form, and what you think the score will be. Thanks very much. We will see you next time. Enjoy the game.
Good morning, everybody. Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils. This is your MUFC Daily. Hot on the heels of last night's emphatic, if unexpected, 3-0 victory over Stoke.